In a world where external markers of social status often rule, there are deeper, more authentic habits that can elevate you in the eyes of others and, most importantly, elevate the way you feel about yourself. These habits might not be common, but they carry a profound power to create lasting and genuine connections. By embracing these habits, you step into your true social power, one that is grounded in authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. Let's dive into these 6 rare habits that not only raise your social standing, but also create a ripple effect of positivity and connection wherever you go. Authenticity is one of the most powerful forces in human connection, yet it is often overlooked or misunderstood. In a world where societal pressures and external expectations are constantly at play, it takes immense courage to show up as your true, unfiltered self. However, embracing authenticity is not about being perfect or flawless. It's about being real, transparent, and vulnerable with others. When you do this, something incredible happens. People begin to trust you. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship, whether personal or professional, and authenticity is the key to unlocking it. Authenticity is about being honest and genuine in your interactions. It means sharing your true thoughts, feelings, and intentions with the world around you without trying to conform to what others expect or want from you. It's about not hiding behind a mask or presenting a curated version of yourself in order to gain approval. Instead, you allow your real self to shine through with all of your imperfections, strengths, and weaknesses. In doing so, you create a space where others feel comfortable doing the same. This kind of vulnerability can be intimidating because it requires a level of courage that many people shy away from. It's easy to hide behind the walls we build to protect ourselves from rejection or judgment. But when we choose to be authentic, we invite others into a deeper connection, one built on mutual understanding and respect. People are naturally drawn to those who are real because it is refreshing in a world full of facades. When you show up authentically, you demonstrate confidence in who you are, which gives others the freedom to do the same. Trust doesn't happen overnight, but it is earned through consistency and transparency. By being authentic in your words and actions, you prove to others that you are someone they can rely on. When you communicate from a place of honesty, people feel safer and more secure in their interactions with you. They know that what you say reflects who you truly are, and that builds credibility. Whether you're in a professional setting or a personal relationship, people value consistency. They want to know that what you present is what they will get every time. Authenticity creates this kind of reliability. When you are true to yourself, you are less likely to shift or change depending on the situation, which fosters a stable foundation of trust. Authenticity fosters respect. It's easy to respect someone who is transparent and true to themselves. On the other hand, when you put on a facade or try to be someone you're not, it creates a sense of disconnection. People can sense when something feels off or when someone is pretending to be something they're not. Authenticity, in contrast, creates a sense of alignment between your inner self and how you present yourself to the world. It sends the message that you value honesty and are comfortable with who you are, which in turn inspires others to respect you for it. Authenticity is not just about how you relate to others, it's also about how you relate to yourself. When you embrace who you truly are, flaws and all, you set yourself free from the burden of trying to meet unrealistic standards. This freedom radiates outward and influences how you connect with others. Authenticity allows you to build relationships that are rooted in truth. And when trust is established, those relationships are more likely to last and grow stronger over time. So take the leap, embrace your authenticity, and watch how trust and meaningful connections follow. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, something to be avoided at all costs. Yet it is one of the most powerful and transformative qualities a person can embrace. In a world that often values strength, invulnerability, and perfection, choosing to be vulnerable requires tremendous courage. It means showing up as you are without the layers of armor that protect you from the fear of judgment or rejection. It's about acknowledging your imperfections, your uncertainties, and your struggles, and allowing others to witness them. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you create an opportunity for deeper, more meaningful connections with others, and more importantly, with yourself. Being vulnerable doesn't mean exposing every part of yourself to the world or sharing your most personal secrets with strangers. Rather, it's about being open, honest, and real in your interactions. It's about allowing yourself to express your true feelings and thoughts, even when doing so feels uncomfortable. Vulnerability requires you to take risks, to be willing to step into uncertainty, to face your fears, and to embrace the possibility of failure or rejection. And while that may sound daunting, it's within these very moments of vulnerability that you often find the greatest opportunities for growth and connection. When we embrace vulnerability, we invite others to do the same. We create a safe space where people feel comfortable sharing their own struggles, insecurities, and authentic selves. This mutual openness fosters a sense of trust and connection that is difficult to achieve through surface-level interactions or guarded conversations. It's when we are vulnerable with others that we form real bonds, because it's through vulnerability that we show our humanity. When someone else shares something deeply personal with us, and we do the same in return, we connect on a level that transcends small talk and pleasantries. These moments of vulnerability build bridges between us and create a sense of belonging. Vulnerability is the key to personal growth. By being open to our own imperfections, we begin to accept ourselves as we are. It's easy to put up walls to protect ourselves from hurt, but in doing so, we also block ourselves from experiencing joy, intimacy, and real connection. Vulnerability allows us to drop these defenses and step into a more authentic version of ourselves. It's through the act of being vulnerable that we learn to accept our own flaws, face our fears, and grow beyond them. We come to realize that it's okay to not have all the answers, to not be perfect, and to not always be in control. In fact, it is in these moments of vulnerability that we often find our greatest strength. Choosing vulnerability also has the power to shift our perspective on failure. In a society that values success and achievement above all else, vulnerability allows us to embrace failure as an essential part of the process. We stop seeing failure as something to be ashamed of, and instead see it as an opportunity for growth. When we allow ourselves to fail, we open ourselves up to learning, evolving, and improving. Vulnerability encourages us to take risks, to try new things, and to fail with grace, knowing that failure is not the end, but merely a stepping stone toward success. Vulnerability is the glue that holds them together, whether in friendships, romantic partnerships, or professional connections. Vulnerability builds intimacy and trust. When you are willing to be vulnerable, you show others that you trust them enough to let down your guard. This level of openness creates a deep sense of mutual respect and understanding. It also allows others to see that you are human, just like them, which fosters empathy and compassion. Ultimately, embracing vulnerability leads to more fulfilling, authentic relationships that are built on trust, honesty, and shared experiences. While vulnerability may feel uncomfortable at first, it is through this discomfort that we experience growth, connection, and transformation. It is an essential part of what makes us human: the courage to show up, to be seen, and to embrace who we are, flaws and all. When we embrace vulnerability, we invite deeper connections, greater self-acceptance, and the possibility of a richer, more fulfilling life. Creating space for others is one of the most powerful and generous ways to build connection and foster trust in any social environment. It's about stepping back, putting aside your own ego, and offering room for others to share their voices, thoughts, and experiences. In a world that often values self-promotion and standing out, making the conscious choice to prioritize others can be a transformative practice, one that deepens relationships and cultivates the sense of belonging. When we create space for others, we not only demonstrate respect and empathy, but also open the door to a richer, more inclusive social dynamic. The act of creating space for others starts with active listening. Too often in conversations, we're focused on what we're going to say next, or how we can steer the discussion in a direction that highlights our own experiences or achievements. But real connection happens when we truly listen to others without interrupting, judging, or offering unsolicited advice. Listening attentively and without distraction allows the other person to feel heard and validated. It shows them that their voice matters and that their experience is important. This simple yet profound act of presence encourages openness and strengthens the bond between individuals. When someone feels truly listened to, they are more likely to up and share their authentic selves, which in turn deepens the connection. Creating space also involves recognizing when others need to be seen or heard. It's about paying attention to those around us, whether in a group setting, a work environment, or a social gathering, and noticing when someone may be feeling overlooked or silenced. In many social contexts, people can feel invisible, especially if they're quieter or less assertive. By being attuned to these dynamics, we can actively encourage others to share by asking open-ended questions, offering encouragement, or simply giving them the opportunity to speak. This not only boosts their confidence, but also ensures that the conversation is more balanced and inclusive. This practice of creating space goes beyond conversations. It's about making sure everyone feels like they belong. It's about ensuring that no one is left out, whether it's in a professional setting where everyone's contributions are valued, or in a social gathering where everyone feels included and comfortable. Creating space means welcoming diversity in all its forms, different perspectives, experiences, and backgrounds, and understanding that everyone's unique contributions enrich the group as a whole. By giving others the freedom to express themselves, we learn more, grow together, and foster a sense of community. When you make space for others, you also create a ripple effect. By demonstrating that you value and respect others' thoughts and experiences, you set an example for others to do the same. This behavior can create a culture of inclusivity and openness within a group, whether it's in a family, workplace, or community. People start to feel safe, not just in sharing their own voices, but in creating space for others as well. The more we practice this habit, the more it becomes ingrained in our social interactions, and the more connected we all become. Creating space for others is not just an outward act, it's also an internal practice. It requires letting go of the need to constantly be in control of the situation or conversation. It means being comfortable with silence, knowing that it's okay for others to fill the space. It also requires vulnerability, as we must be willing to allow others to take the spotlight and share what they need to share. This act of letting go opens up new possibilities for collaboration and growth. It can also bring about unexpected insights as we learn from others' experiences and viewpoints, broadening our understanding of the world around us. Creating space for others is about fostering a sense of equality and mutual respect. It's about recognizing that we all have something valuable to offer and that no one's voice or perspective is more important than another's. By practicing this simple yet profound act, we not only strengthen our relationships, but also contribute to a more compassionate and inclusive world. When we make space for others, we lift each other up, creating a space where everyone can grow, be heard, and feel valued. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, and it is one of the most essential qualities that help build meaningful, lasting relationships. In a world where individualism often takes center stage, practicing empathy can seem like a rare and powerful gift. However, the truth is that empathy is not a natural trait that some people are simply born with. It is a skill that can be cultivated and nurtured over time. By practicing empathy, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of others and create more compassionate, supportive environments where people feel valued and understood. Empathy is about being fully present with someone else's experience without judgment or the need to fix things. It requires us to step out of our own perspective and into the shoes of another to see the world through their eyes and to feel their emotions as they feel them. Empathy goes beyond sympathy, which often involves feeling sorry for someone's situation. Instead, empathy involves connection. It's about saying, I see you, I hear you, and I feel what you're going through. This level of emotional attunement fosters trust and strengthens the bonds between people, allowing for more open and honest communication. One of the key elements of practicing empathy is active listening. Many times when someone shares their struggles or emotions with us, we instinctively want to offer advice, solve the problem, or provide reassurance. While these responses may be well-intentioned, they often detract from the experience of truly listening and understanding. Active listening, on the other hand, means focusing entirely on the person speaking without distractions or preconceived judgments. It means making an effort to hear not only the words they are saying, but also the underlying emotions and needs they may be expressing. By listening with empathy, we communicate that we value the other person's experience and are willing to be present with them, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable their feelings may be. Another important aspect of practicing empathy is nonverbal communication. Our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can all convey empathy just as much as our words. When we maintain eye contact, offer a comforting touch, or nod to show we're listening, we send a powerful message that we are emotionally attuned to the other person. These nonverbal cues reinforce our understanding and support, creating an environment where the other person feels seen and heard on a deeper level. Empathy also involves recognizing that everyone's experience is unique. It's easy to assume that we know how someone feels, especially if we've been through a similar situation ourselves. Each person's emotional landscape is shaped by their own history, values, and perspective. In order to practice true empathy, we must be willing to set aside our own assumptions and judgments and open ourselves to the other person's reality. This means asking open-ended questions, expressing curiosity about their feelings, and acknowledging that their experience is valid, even if it's different from our own. By honoring their individuality, we deepen our understanding and create space for connection and healing. Empathy is a cornerstone of emotional intimacy. When we are empathetic, we are able to respond to others' needs with sensitivity and compassion. We can support them in their moments of vulnerability without trying to change or fix them. This emotional attunement fosters a sense of safety and belonging, where people feel comfortable sharing their true selves without fear of judgment. Empathy allows us to see each other not as problems to be solved, but as individuals deserving of understanding and care. Empathy plays a crucial role in conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, it's easy to get caught up in defending our own point of view or focusing on winning the argument. However, practicing empathy in these moments means listening to the other person's perspective and trying to understand the emotions driving their behavior. It means putting aside our own pride and being open to finding common ground. By responding with empathy, we can navigate conflicts in a way that strengthens relationships, promotes mutual respect, and fosters collaboration. The benefits of practicing empathy extend beyond personal relationships. In professional settings, empathy can enhance teamwork, improve communication, and increase overall productivity. When colleagues feel understood and supported, they are more likely to collaborate effectively and contribute their best ideas. In leadership, empathy is a key factor in building trust and fostering a positive work environment. Leaders who demonstrate empathy inspire loyalty, respect, and motivation in their teams, creating a culture of openness and cooperation. Practicing empathy is about choosing to connect on a deeper level with others, acknowledging their emotions, and offering understanding and support. It is a conscious decision to set aside our own biases and judgments and be fully present with the experiences of those around us. By practicing empathy, we create spaces where people feel safe, heard, and valued, and where relationships are grounded in compassion and mutual respect. It is a skill that, when nurtured, can transform not only our connections with others, but also our own understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Being generous with your presence is one of the most meaningful gifts you can offer to those around you. In a world filled with distractions, fast-paced routines, and constant digital interruptions, offering someone your full, undivided attention has become increasingly rare and therefore incredibly valuable. To be truly present is to give not just your time, but also your energy, your focus, and your care. It means setting aside everything else in that moment and truly engaging with the person in front of you without the need for multitasking or splitting your attention. Generosity of presence starts with the simple act of being present, but it goes deeper than merely showing up. It's about immersing yourself in the moment, being emotionally available, and offering the other person the feeling that they are your priority. When we are generous with our presence, we send a clear message to others that they matter, that their thoughts and emotions are worthy of our time and attention. This practice fosters a deep sense of connection and trust, as it reassures others that they are not just being tolerated, but truly seen and heard. One of the key elements of being generous with your presence is active listening. This means tuning in not only to the words the other person is saying, but also to the feelings behind those words. It's about paying attention to body language, tone of voice, and the unspoken emotions that may lie beneath the surface. When we listen actively, we show the other person that we care enough to understand their perspective, their needs, and their struggles. This kind of listening requires putting aside our own agenda and instead focusing on the person in front of us. It's easy to be distracted by our own thoughts, but generosity of presence means resisting the urge to think about what we want to say next or what's going on in our own lives. Instead, it's about offering that person the space to express themselves fully, knowing that they are being valued in that moment. Being generous with your presence also means being emotionally available. It's about connecting not just intellectually, but emotionally with the person you're engaging with. This may mean showing empathy, offering encouragement, or simply holding space for someone to express their feelings. Emotional presence involves allowing your own emotions to come into play, connecting with the other person's experience, and being willing to sit with their vulnerability. Whether it's offering a comforting word or simply sitting quietly with someone during a difficult time, your emotional presence can provide a sense of solace and support that words alone often cannot convey. In addition to emotional availability, being generous with your presence often requires us to put aside distractions. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by technology, with notifications from phones, emails, and social media demanding our attention. When we choose to be truly present with someone, we are making a conscious decision to step away from those distractions and give the other person our full attention. This practice may seem simple, but it's increasingly rare in a culture that thrives on multitasking. When we actively disconnect from digital devices and focus entirely on the person in front of us, it sends the message that they are worth the effort, that they are more important than the next text message or notification. Generosity of presence also extends beyond one-on-one interactions. It's about showing up fully in group settings, meetings, or even casual encounters. When we are present in a group, we bring a sense of focus and attention that can elevate the energy of the entire room. Being generous with our presence in these contexts means actively participating in conversations, offering support to others, and helping to create an environment where everyone feels heard and valued. It's about cultivating an atmosphere of inclusion and respect, where each person feels as though their contributions matter and that their voice is important. The benefits of being generous with your presence are profound, both for you and for the people around you. For the person you're engaging with, it fosters a sense of connection, trust, and appreciation. They feel valued, and this often deepens the relationship, whether it's with a friend, family member, colleague, or even a stranger. For you, being present offers the opportunity to connect more deeply with the people in your life and experience moments of true human connection. It helps you cultivate mindfulness and awareness, which can increase your overall sense of fulfillment and contentment. The more generously you give your presence, the more deeply you experience the world around you, finding richness in even the simplest interactions. Being generous with your presence is a practice that strengthens both your relationships and your own sense of self. It's an act of kindness that costs nothing but offers immense rewards in terms of connection, trust, and emotional richness. When we give our undivided attention to others, we remind them and ourselves that the most precious thing we can offer is not money, advice, or material gifts, but our full, authentic presence. This simple yet profound gesture can transform relationships, create a sense of belonging, and remind us all of the power of truly being there for one another. Choosing courage over comfort is one of the most transformative decisions you can make in your life. It means stepping out of the familiar, the safe, and the predictable in order to embrace the unknown, to confront fear, and to challenge yourself in ways that lead to growth. It's easy to settle into comfort, especially when life feels overwhelming or when uncertainty looms. Our natural instinct is to seek ease and avoid discomfort as it feels safer and more secure. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. It's only when we step outside of it, when we make the bold choice to face discomfort, that we unlock our true potential. Choosing courage over comfort doesn't mean being fearless. It means acknowledging fear and acting in spite of it. It's the recognition that growth requires discomfort and that we cannot evolve if we remain in the same place, doing the same things and avoiding challenges. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. Every time we choose courage, we are affirming our ability to handle the unknown, to face difficult situations, and to come out stronger on the other side. It's an active decision to engage with life in a way that allows us to reach for more, even if we don't know exactly what will happen next. One of the most powerful aspects of choosing courage is that it opens the door to new opportunities. Whether it's a career change, pursuing a passion, having a difficult conversation, or making a life-altering decision, courage allows us to take risks that lead to growth and transformation. Comfort, on the other hand, keeps us stagnant, preventing us from exploring new possibilities. By choosing courage, we give ourselves permission to fail, to learn, and to experience life in a fuller way. Failure, which often seems terrifying, is simply a stepping stone to success and personal development. It's through taking risks and facing challenges that we build resilience and gain confidence in our abilities. Courage also allows us to live authentically. When we choose comfort, we often sacrifice our true selves in order to avoid conflict, rejection, or the discomfort of standing out. We may suppress our desires, our dreams, or our beliefs in order to fit in or to avoid the pain of vulnerability. However, when we choose courage, we make the decision to show up as we truly are. We embrace our individuality and stand up for what we believe in, even when it's not the easiest or most popular path. This authenticity, while initially uncomfortable, leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment and self-respect. By being true to ourselves, we create more meaningful relationships and align our actions with our core values. Choosing courage over comfort is also essential in building resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and obstacles that are often out of our control. However, when we consistently choose courage, we develop the strength to face these challenges with grace and determination. We learn that discomfort and adversity are not to be feared but embraced as opportunities to grow. Every time we face something difficult and come through it, we become stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever comes next. Courage builds our emotional muscle, making us better equipped to face future challenges with resilience and optimism. Courage is contagious. When we choose courage, we inspire others to do the same. Our actions have the power to influence those around us, encouraging them to step out of their comfort zones and pursue their own growth. Whether we realize it or not, by leading with courage, we set an example for others to follow. This ripple effect can transform not just our own lives, but also the lives of those we care about, creating a culture of courage, growth, and possibility. It's important to remember that choosing courage over comfort doesn't always have to be a grand, life-changing decision. Courage can show up in small moments, speaking up in a meeting, expressing your needs in a relationship, or standing up for someone who can't stand up for themselves. Every act of courage, no matter how small, is a step toward living a fuller, more intentional life. It's about making the choice to embrace discomfort in the pursuit of a life that is meaningful and authentic. Choosing courage over comfort is a decision that changes the course of your life. It pushes you to face your fears, take risks, and live with intention. It is through courage that we grow, evolve, and ultimately find fulfillment. So the next time you're faced with a choice between what feels comfortable and what requires courage, choose the latter. Embrace the discomfort, lean into the fear, and trust that every courageous step will lead you closer to the person you're meant to become. Celebrating others' successes is a powerful and meaningful practice that not only strengthens relationships, but also fosters a culture of positivity, gratitude, and mutual respect. In a world that often promotes competition and comparison, genuinely celebrating the achievements of others can feel like an act of generosity, but it is also one of the most rewarding things we can do for ourselves and those around us. When we take the time to acknowledge and rejoice in the successes of others, we create an environment where encouragement, support, and connection thrive. One of the most significant benefits of celebrating others' successes is the promotion of a mindset of abundance. In a society that often encourages individualism and focuses on what we do or do not have, it can be easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We may feel that someone else's success diminishes our own, or that there is limited room for all of us to succeed. Celebrating the accomplishments of others shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance. When we can truly rejoice in someone else's success, we recognize that their achievements don't take away from our potential. Instead, they serve as a reminder that success is possible for everyone and that there is enough room for all of us to thrive. This mindset helps to foster a sense of collective growth, where people support each other rather than feeling threatened by others' accomplishments. When we celebrate others, we also contribute to their sense of self-worth and validation. Achieving a goal, whether big or small, is often the result of hard work, determination, and overcoming obstacles. For many, reaching a milestone can feel lonely or overwhelming, as it may not always be recognized or acknowledged by others. By celebrating their success, we validate their efforts and show them that their achievements matter. This act of recognition not only boosts their confidence, but also strengthens the bond between you and the other person. It tells them that you see and appreciate their effort and that you are rooting for them in their journey. This type of encouragement can propel them forward, motivating them to keep striving for more and to believe in their own potential. Celebrating others' successes nurtures empathy and compassion. It requires us to step outside of our own experiences and be genuinely happy for someone else, regardless of where we are in our own journey. This act of selflessness promotes emotional intelligence as it helps us practice gratitude and humility. When we celebrate the success of others, we focus on their joy and achievement rather than letting envy or jealousy take root. By putting these negative emotions aside, we create a space for positivity, reinforcing the idea that there is no limit to the joy we can share with others. This fosters a healthier, more supportive social dynamic where people feel comfortable sharing their wins, knowing they will be celebrated and supported rather than judged. Celebrating others' successes contributes to the creation of a strong collaborative community. In work environments, for instance, when success is shared and celebrated, it builds a culture of teamwork and mutual support. When people feel appreciated for their contributions, they are more likely to continue working hard and collaborating with others. A workplace where success is celebrated, not just for individual accomplishments, but also for collective achievements, fosters an environment where innovation, creativity, and collaboration can thrive. This spirit of togetherness spreads beyond work and into personal relationships, strengthening bonds and encouraging individuals to support each other. Another key aspect of celebrating others' successes is that it reminds us of the importance of perspective. Success does not always look the same for everyone, and the definition of success is deeply personal. For some, success might be landing a dream job or receiving recognition in their field, while for others, it could be overcoming personal struggles, achieving a healthier work-life balance, or simply making progress toward a long-term goal. By celebrating these diverse types of success, we are reminded that every journey is unique and that success can be defined in many ways. It allows us to appreciate the full spectrum of achievements, no matter how big or small, and to honor the individual paths that people take. Celebrating others' successes cultivates an atmosphere of positivity, encouragement, and connection. It reminds us that life is not a zero-sum game where one person's win is another's loss. Instead, it's about lifting each other up and creating a supportive environment where everyone can flourish. When we make the conscious decision to celebrate the victories of those around us, we contribute to a culture of appreciation, gratitude, and growth. This practice not only enriches the lives of others, but also brings greater joy and fulfillment to our own. By recognizing and celebrating the successes of others, we cultivate a world where collaboration, empathy, and mutual support are the driving forces of success for all.